Your next barbecue is going to be even better with this super delicious Mediterranean pasta salad recipe. Hey, I'm Carrie with eatingonadime.com, and we're on a mission to help families eat well on a budget. We provide delicious, family-friendly recipes that are easy to make and don't take a lot of time in the kitchen. One of my favorite things to make in the summer is pasta salad. Now, normally we have a lot of pasta salad recipes on Eating on a Dime, and I love them all, but this Mediterranean pasta salad might be my favorite. And that's hard because I really love pasta salad. But if you make this pasta salad recipe for your next gathering or barbecue or holiday, people are going to be asking you for the recipe. I guarantee it. And you can find the full recipe linked in the description below, or you can always go to eatingonadime.com. There's a great search feature, and you'll just search Mediterranean pasta salad. But while you're there, go ahead and search pasta salad so you can see all of the other delicious recipes we have. First, you're going to bring a large pot of water to boiling. I couldn't say water very well. Then you're going to add 1 pound of Rotini pasta. You can honestly do any kind of pasta, but Rotini does really good at holding on to the sauce. And we're going to cook them for al dente. According to our instructions, this will just take 7 minutes. The important thing is that you make sure you get a spoon and stir that pasta around so it doesn't stick together. I wanted to point out al dente just means that it's undercooked slightly by 1 to 2 minutes. So if your package doesn't say an al dente time, just reduce it by 2 minutes and you should be good. While that pasta is boiling and cooking, let's go ahead and start on our veggies. First, you're going to need an English cucumber. This is what it looks like. You could use a regular cucumber if you want. These just kind of hold up better in pasta salads, but no judgment. You can peel it or not. I'm not going to peel it this time because the skin's actually really good for you and it just looks really pretty in the salad. We're going to cut the ends off first. Then I'm going to cut it in half again just to make it smaller to work with. Then we're going to cut it in half lengthwise. And then fold it on its side and cut it in half lengthwise again. So it's almost like you have these almost like pickle looking spears. Then I'm going to bring them together and then I'm just going to start chopping them up. So we're going to cut it lengthwise in half, flip them over, cut it lengthwise again, then bring them together. You're going to want to make sure you have a large, sharp knife, and then you just put them in these bite-sized pieces. You want them to fit, onto a fork. Next, we need 1 cup of cherry tomatoes or grape tomatoes, and you're just going to take your knife and cut them in half lengthwise. So when I say lengthwise, I mean don't take your knife and slice it this way. We're going to slice it this way. And we're going to get every one of them sliced up. Okay, so make sure you're slicing the length of the tomato. Oh, I accidentally cut that one. So don't do this way. I mean, you can. No one's going to judge you, but I might because this is the pretty way for a pasta salad, the traditional way. Once your pasta is finished cooking, we're going to strain it in a strainer. And then you want to immediately run cold water right on top to cool down the pasta. I let it start getting cooler to touch with the water. And then once you can touch the pasta, see that one's getting a little spicy still, a little hot. Then you can move it around to help get all that pasta cold. And that prevents your pasta from overcooking and getting soggy. So see how these still look pretty? They're going to not be soggy in our pasta salad. Now I'm going to take the veggies and put them in a large bowl. Then we're going to add about a half a cup of black olives. These are already sliced, but if they're not sliced, then you want to go ahead and slice them up. And then we need a half a cup of green olives that have been pitted. And we're going to cut these in half, but we're going to do the opposite of what we did with the cherry tomatoes. We're not going to cut them lengthwise. We're going to cut them in half the shorter way. So I'm just going to cut a few. If you really wanted to, friends, I honestly believe you could just leave this whole. And I think they would still be perfect in this recipe. I'm going to place these into here. I always tell people make sure when you're using your knife to scrape into the bowl that you use the back side of your knife so you don't dull your knife. The last thing we need to cut up is a red onion, which I still want to know, when did people look at this and decide it was a red onion? It's a purple onion. But we're going to cut this in half, or cut the ends off, then cut in half, peel it off, and then we're going to slice it up. Now I want mine to be similar to the rest of the veggies, so I'm going to actually cut this half in half, so it's like a quarter, like that. And then I'm just going to run my knife through it so you have these nice, thin, pretty little pieces. If you have a mandolin slicer, this is a great time to use that. I keep saying on my videos I need to buy me a new one, and I keep forgetting. The original recipe calls for a quarter of a red onion, but I went ahead and did a half because my onion was kind of small, and I'm obsessed with red onions right now. So I'm just breaking them apart, and then we're going to put them in the bowl. I'm just kind of moving them around to get those pieces broken up. That way when we put in the pasta, it'll mix well. Now we're going to make a homemade dressing, and don't let that scare you because it's actually really easy to make. We've got a quarter cup of olive oil, or you can use avocado oil. You are going to do a quarter cup of a red wine vinaigrette. And then we need a half of a lemon juiced. I recommend doing fresh. If you don't have one of these lemon squeezers, you need to grab one. They make it so much easier to get all the juice out. I mean, look, like no effort. See, look, all that juice just got right out. And then we're going to add some seasonings. You're just going to need a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of oregano leaves, a teaspoon of dried basil. It smells so good. We dried some of our own basil. If you haven't seen that video, you've got to go check it out. So much more flavor. Then we're going to do a quarter teaspoon of black pepper and a half a teaspoon of salt. Then we're just going to whisk all the ingredients together to make this delicious dressing. You can also put this in a small blender or use like an emulsion blender to blend it all together if you want to, but I don't really find it's necessary with this recipe. Now, in case you didn't notice, I actually got a bigger bowl because I was afraid I wasn't going to have room to mix it in. So I threw that in a bigger bowl. And then I have my pasta. We're going to put our pasta right on top. And the reason I don't put the pasta like right in the beginning when we're chopping our veggies is I don't want that pasta to get soft, like get smushed. So we're just going to do a quick, gentle stir, get some of these veggies on top, and then we're going to add our dressing. You want to stir minimum. So that way we don't, the worst thing about a pasta salad is when your veggies are soggy. So you want to be nice and gentle with them so they're not falling apart. But we cooked ours great. So like I'm obsessed with it right now. So they're going to hold up great. Now we're going to take that dressing and just drizzle it right on top. Ooh, it smells so good. Then we're going to take that spoon and do a quick toss. Get back in the bowl. We must eat you. If you want extra dressing, you could easily double this dressing if you wanted. And you can also reserve some, like to mix in now and then some right before you serve. I don't really find that it needs it because it has great flavor. And I kind of like it when my pasta salad, the noodles soak up the dressing. But hey, we all have different preferences. So you do you. Okay, now that this is ready, we're going to pop this. I'm going to cover it and pop it in the fridge and let it rest for about 1 hour or longer until you're ready to serve. Okay, it's ready. Now, right before serving, you're going to want to add about 4 ounces of feta cheese. Then if you want to, you can leave it just as is, but mine kind of looked like a whole bunch of feta at once. So I'm just grabbing my spoon and just doing a gentle toss to get that feta cheese everywhere because we want feta in every bite. I'm having such a hard time not just digging in with my fingers, but I'm not, so you're welcome. Guys, there's time for my favorite part, eating it. Let's give it a try, serve it up. I'm so pumped. Probably should have done a bowl. Would have been a little bit easier for me to get on my fork. But oh my goodness. Okay, let's try this. I got to get some feta, a little cucumber. I need all the things in my bite. I love it, friends. Another bite. You're just going to have to watch me eat. Okay. Before we go, I want to let you know you can grab the full recipe, remember, linked below. And if you loved today's video, please like and subscribe. We have passed over 100,000 subscribers. I think we're about to hit 130. We might already be by the time this video goes live, but we love every single one of you. We love this community, and I would love it if you would subscribe. Remember, once you make this recipe, go to the recipe and don't forget to leave a review. It's our favorite way to hear from you, and it's the easiest way to communicate and support the Eating on a Dime family. Thanks so much, guys. I'm off to go eat my weight in pasta salad, and I hope you do too. I'll see you next time for another family-friendly recipe. Bye, friends.